Thank you, Adam. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for your interest and time this morning. Just briefly, after 3 years of research and working closely with um, pro- uh, uh, technology providers over a 3-year period, as URC, we investigated what is a fit for purpose for our environment as a competition to do the next step and work closely with World Rugby to promote the TMO protocols and what's available currently as trial laws and to participate in World Rugby's trial of how do we expand the role of the TMO and how we deal with foul play. On the back of that, we got to a point where we have suitable technology where we could apply what's required by World Rugby for this trial. In the Northern Hemisphere, we've implemented a Hawkeye system and of technology that we use for reviews. And in South Africa, we have the MOBI system that's been in place for a couple of years now. Those two systems allows us to then participate in the law trial with World Rugby. We are accountable to World Rugby to give them feedback on our processes and how it's going. We've got a meeting on Friday to discuss with World Rugby the technology and the standards and minimum standards that we apply. So this came of very hard work from my colleague Paul Lauter over 3 years. World Rugby URC has approved, and we have implemented it in round one. There was a lot of work going on. We had to put in place video operational rooms where all the technology is being stored and made available, and during the game where all the live camera feeds go into that room. And we have now a technical operator with our TMO that sits next to him and supports the TMO to independently from the broadcaster find the footage to look at of incidents in the game where injuries has occurred, where there was a suspicion of foul play, and when there was difficulty for the match officials to observe accurate decisions for the awarding of a scrum, a foot that's in touch that wasn't visible to them live, and support them with the accuracy of those decisions. We did a lot of training with our TMO group in the usage of the technology. We've done a lot of training with our TMOs to understand the processes. World Rugby has given us dispensation last year to also use the extended TMO protocol to apply in our competition, which means that the TMO can look in the background while the game continues for important and key decisions that was not accurately dealt with by the referees to support the referee in their decision making to be accurate. I think what is important to say at this stage, it's never the intention for the TMO to make the decisions. It's still the referee to make the decisions, but with support, we can bring attention to the referee where they weren't accurate and then support the referee with the accurate of decisions, which is hugely important for us as match officials and hugely important for the teams and the players on the pitch. That's just in a nutshell. Our process is that we now have the opportunity to, while the game is running live, that we can look at all the camera angles that's provided by our broadcasters while the broadcaster is still showing the game. We can then independently, there's two people that now can collate some video footage of incidents to be reviewed and to see if that needs to be brought to the attention of the referee for a decision from the referee. These recommendations will be made, and in the review process, there can be a recommendation from the TMOs because of the footage and the additional information and facts that we have available in that process. Why do we call it the independent process? Previously, as a TMO group in our work, we were dependent on the broadcaster to rewind and replay incidents to us for us to review, or we only had a 5-second delayed screen to have a second look at the incident that we've briefly seen that may require attention. We are now at a place where we do not have to bother the broadcaster with that, but we can independently look at it, and the broadcaster continue to deliver a quality production for the viewers, and we can in the background do our work and pick and find what we call the key angle of incidents that we can put in front of the referee to make an accurate decision. Bit of background, it's a bit different what you will see in other competitions. Our neighboring competitions with Premiership and the French top 14 competition do not have that facilities available. Their decision-making processes and things go still as per usual through the broadcaster, replaying footage to the TMO, find the best footage, then look at it again, then make a decision. We try to slimline our process to make it quicker, to make it faster. We are still dependent on the broadcaster to present that on the screen for the referee to look at. But in finding the key angle for the referee to make an accurate decision, that process is now for us much quicker. And we're not bothering the broadcaster to look for that. We look for it, and then we communicate with the broadcaster to make sure that we put the best footage on screen for those decisions. After round one, we are pretty excited about this process. There was some growing pains that we had to deal with in the background, but there were some good solutions being found after round one. I don't think anybody has seen any issues in particular in any of the games, but we are quite excited for where we can go with this process and what it offers to us as a competition to get accurate calls, which is hugely important for the game, for the stakeholders, for the players and the teams, and in general for our competition's credibility of match official decision making.